Mystery of life. In a world veiled in secrecy and obscurity, wandering spirits move ceaselessly and unceasingly. Under the moon, witches perform a dance, while creatures of the night in lagoons lie in a trance. At the stroke of midnight, these creatures stir, as fairies, will-o'-wisps, and sprites gleefully whir, fluttering with joy and merriment, while the wind murmurs silently, with no argument. As the night wears on and the moon shines bright, the creatures of the night begin to take flight. With heavy hearts, they leave their midnight dance to return to their homes and their nightly romance. Dawn slowly creeps in, and the sun rises high, bringing warmth and light to the dark sky. The creatures of the night take shelter from the day, hiding from the sun until night comes to stay. The mystery of life.
Inshallah and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. How'd you like that lovely poem? Are you ready for a fantastic freaking Friday to take us out into the weekend while we're waiting for people to hop on to the live stream or tune into the replay, listen to the show? Really taking a breath and a pause, like the divine timing of all the things. What are your thoughts, and are they yours, or are you channeling from the greater universe, the cosmos, the oneness? Possibly highly intuitive with some spiritual guidance in our thinking and just being mindful of spirit. It might be an angelic being, by the way, or something otherworldly. So what is happening in the choreography of your mind? Are you being mindful, compassionate? What are those ingredients? And hopefully, what are you aiming for? Just hopefully some heartfelt compassion, some streams of peace, love, joy, my favorites, integrity. And what is, or what would the eyes of an angel see if you could see through the eyes of an angelic being, or seeing through the eyes and just thinking like an angelic being? Are you on the divine pathway, beginning to see the fabric of your destiny aligned with your purpose, your gift and purpose? The choreography of our head may be swirling, thoughts are active, creative. So awareness of thoughts, that just may create some fears sometimes, and our heart is on the ethereal plane. So it's an excellent idea to ground into the realm of the elements that serve us the best, what to bring in elementally, and what element has that ingredient that your soul authentically needs. So if you want to take a barefoot walk, for me, it would be out into the cold snow to connect to the beings of water, the sprites of water, the spirits of water in my environment, or possibly a being of the light, fire, a being of nature, the keepers of the wild, the fierce protectors, a wedame. So we do have options, and I'm going to get to that a little bit later here, so really stay tuned. And you also may find that you become a conduit of inspirited thoughts, downloads from the realms of the angelic beings. Could be an archangel, possibly Sandalphon, beings of light and whatnot, even beings from other worlds and dimensions. So really take a breath and pause and really contemplate. What is it that you are building for your new paradigm, your new stratosphere, spiritual assets, ingredients, thoughts in the choreography? So you may be having thoughts that are not of this world, otherworldly ways of thinking, and just opening up your heart's chalice to a more inspirited approach. Water is a conduit to really get us into the flow. All the elements are actually conduits. But with that, welcome to the Daily Snippet. I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a reflector by design, human design. I do go by the term holistic shaman medium, which is just a choreography of them all. And my intention is to utilize the indigenous technologies, the ways of our origins, the elemental realms, the imaginal realms, into our original divine blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic through these realms and really so much more, which is actually online along with some other choreography, some special centers into these realms, dimensions, portals, gateways, the cosmos, with really a lot more actually, and offerings, prescriptions, rituals, really connecting to the rising of our origins, the otherworldly kind, to really add to the juice of our individual main stage container. Rituals are the origins. They're actually food for our soul. our personal medicine, our prime directive. We all have a gift and a purpose. And in doing so, our light shines even brighter because we're climbing into our skin. We're becoming authentic. My name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And of course, if you have yet to subscribe to my channels, please do. YouTube, where you're probably tuning in right now. And also my Musing with Tonya D podcast. This season is coined the Season of the Witches because we are in a season of nature, transformation, change, mages, witches, authenticity, being authentic to our soul's prime directive. But we've also entered into the realm of spirit and karma, the season of Pisces. The crown is online during the season of Pisces, just so you're aware. It's our spiritual acumen. It's prophetic vision centering. The angelic being Sandalphon. If you start belting out a tune all of a sudden, or a song pops in your mind, that is Sandalphon trying to send you a sign or a sigil to your awareness. I always love to give a shout out to new peeps entering the village, the community, and my groups or YouTube, wherever. A validation, a voice of acknowledgement to you. I see you, new friends and guests arriving to my stream, my show, new subscribers. So I just want to say thank you for that. And also, of course, those of you that have been on my journey since the beginning. I know I've had some hiccups, but it's been exciting, right? It really does take a village, a tribe. And I do have intentions for the season of February of hitting my YouTube goals. So subscribe if you don't mind. And also a gratitude and blessings to all of you that do hop on later and tune into the replay, and a comment really helps me out. Along with hitting the bell button so you're notified, the white rabbit, that's what I call the subscribe button. The white rabbit, follow the white rabbit. A comment if you do feel you are in need of a message for your day to get you on your way. Sharing is just another way of actually paying it forward. It's kind of a blessing of gratitude, right? Of course, you can also find me on other social channels, TikTok, Instagram, etc., etc. Just remember that I am your otherworldly shamanic assistant. You truly are your own healer, but sometimes we need an otherworldly life coach to get us out of our own magical way, myself included, the cosmic streams. I'm not beyond that. And the daily snippet. What do I muse about? What is this all about? So it's the cosmic insights. It's the planets in our choreography. It's the elementals. I utilize the 4 pillars of Chinese destiny, the elemental realm, and the subtle energies, our chakras, those energetic centers, along with the channels, which are the meridians, the pathways, getting us into the flow, and even our auric fields, along with a message for our day. So your thoughts may be actually dominating your stratosphere today. The energy that needs the attention. It's an intuitive, administrative data entry of energetics. So random thoughts, random insights, feelings that trigger thoughts, our intuitive body literally coming forward, because we do have different energetic bodies, auric fields. So be an observer in your essence. There's no need to argue or repress a feeling that actually depletes our gallbladder in a way. And anger is also the liver frequency, and also our solar plexus. So cleansing our spiritual body, the energetic fields, the causal field, along with the mind, are really coming into an understanding, a better way to think of ourselves or even see ourselves. And what does that even look like? So thoughts we have of ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, that inside voice, whether or not our thoughts come into or a judgment zone or into alignment. So do what you can to be an observer, observing our thoughts as they float by like clouds. Notice even the ripples, and notice what type of thinking or thoughts are really floating in or by, and look for areas or aspects of your thoughts and thinking that have past conclusions, like the rear view mirror, thoughts we deny or thoughts we skip over, literally like rippling cloud lines. So with our intuition online playing a huge galactic role, you may find that you are hiding something from your inner choreography, yourself. That's the ghost in the darkness. It's the shadow mind, if you will. So it's a time to rewrite the play, the narrative, and be more aligned with your spiritual values in that corridor, less controlled by the mental programming. If you keep your channels open, your mind as a conduit flowing, you may intuit a different or alternative, innovative way of thinking of yourself and seeing yourself. Likely ones that are more kind, more peaceful, poetic, more compassionate, etc. more loving in your thinking, thoughts of yourself, seeing into, and as you observe thoughts floating by in the cloud lines, like clouds, see if your clouds are, see what they are as they're floating by. Are they dark clouds? Are they fluffy? Are they billowing? Like, pay attention to your clouds by and with the thoughts. So are we respecting our spiritual values, or are they on a broken record, repeating all of those old mental programmings and conditionings? Sometimes we have to leave the world and cleanse that field and retire those thoughts that are creating the conditions. It's a cosmic rewriting with Inspirited values. That's where the angels come in. So just a few announcements. I do have a new podcast out, Surrendering to Your Remembering, with Julianna Whitlow, a Claire mindset, which I love. Again, the season of the witches, that's my theme for this 2023 year, my Musing with Tonya D podcast. You can listen on Spotify, Apple, or just go to my website, tonyad.tv. And August of this year, a retreat, Magic in the Mountains of Mongolia. Super excited to be this container. So if you're interested in an adventure, it is not really a luxury getaway, by the way. We will be traveling with not one, but 6 indigenous medicine people of the land into new areas, being a traveler, not so much a tourist, very different energies. So be sure to jump in. Space is very limited for that. You can also find that on my website. But for today, on the Elemental Highway, on this fantastic Friday, we do have a Yin Water Ox of a day. So there's more water hidden in the branch of the ox, which is great. So we've got this cold, wet earth, and boy, do we, even in the physical, all this freaking snow we got here in Utah. But Yin Water is an intuitive energy. It's full of insights, curious, questioning everything. It likes to find the answers. And the ox is kind of an authority. It's a controlling element to our day. Earth kind of guides water, restricting, holding a resource in storage, the yin metal, if you will, which is a resource for our day. A mentor who kind of dictates, if you will. And wood, all that wood, we still got a lot of nature. That's performance, or it's the output energy of yin water. Water nourishes wood. So this output, or for performance, it might be a little drastic, could be dramatic, could even be chaotic, a little drama there. And the yang fire and the tiger, that's like the big bountiful sun, that's money and assets. And an asset that our day creates, wealth, things of value, it's spirited value. So it's always amazing how the elementals always go with the cosmic energy. It's just a different playground, a tool I use. So wealth coming to us, it's reflecting on the waters. Fire reflects on water. The sun reflects. Imagine being on a boat. We get sunburned or out skiing or whatever we're doing. And the real power is in the tiger. It's in the storage, the yang mountain. It really does remind me of a dragon hidden inside of a mountain, that kind of energy on the year. I say dragon because rabbit, tiger, and the dragon are total east direction. And that's nature represents wealth and asset coming to us, a whole nother story there. On the year, we do have a friend, a heavenly friend, by the way. So this is spirit, intuition coming in from the cosmos, which is great. And the rabbit is output, which is very clever. We do have some clever rabbits producing versus abrupt and competitive, very different energies. But our day does need metal, yang metal of all things, to produce a mentor, somebody who listens and choreographs our gift and our purpose, decisions that are in alignment with our goal, getting us throughout the day, the end goal. And also fire, spirit to be reflective of our day, intuition, gift and purpose, source, the other world, dreams, visions, just observing the mental dialogue, that self-talk, the inner voice inside of us, the inside voice. So looking for the puzzle pieces that might be puzzling pieces that no longer fit the inner dialogue, that old mental patterning, that you can become more compassionate towards your inner world, your inner self. So it really is a day to come to a new awareness in our fields, in our patterning, our evolution about our spiritual story within ourselves. We're choreographing this. So your thoughts may come to a new learning or a new understanding, a new attitude even of what got you here, and observing where you have grown or what you have grown out of spiritually. It's like retiring one spiritual asset or value and upcycling into the gold, the pot of gold. It's alchemizing. So since the last time we took our spiritual vitals, if you will, like we do our physical vitals, an inspirited check-in or a tune-up, like we tune up our cars, we got to tune up our spiritual bodies. So this growth may bring some new insights into a new kind of enlightened phase and awareness within our mind, our solar plexus. We've got this conduit happening. So using water as that conduit to intuit an inner peaceful flow of mindful reconciliation and clarity. Super grateful for this. So the moon is also in the season of Taurus, and I'm following the moon through the gates. I'm a reflector in human design. I go online tomorrow. I'm so excited. But for Virgo, we've got Taurus, Virgo. It's the opposite sign of Pisces doing this cosmic dance. So our thoughts and our feelings may manifest into our reality, becoming something physical. Virgo is reality. It's where things become hyper aware and very real through what we feel. So I'd recommend being peaceful, easy waters with the voice inside of yourself. Be compassionate, be kind, be like the waters, be peaceful, contemplate the ox. Fire is our joy. It's our love channel as well. Always we need more love in the oneness. And you may also need some time alone to meditate, to clear the rubbish of the other people's thoughts. Telepathy really is a thing. So just be consciously aware of telepathic thoughts that are coming from other humans that are probably inside voice, not so kind. So just with that, it's always what I'm aware of. And I'm doing a message for the weekend. And of course, I called in the Fae. You know I did, right? So our weekend message comes from this great little character, Gotcha. Who doesn't love a little gotcha? The 64, the 4 is the I am energy. It's our I am presence. This is unique and individual as our thumbprint, but it's on a divine scale. And just being aware of what dimensional energy that you are law of attracting or frequenting, is it in alignment with where you belong? So when you recognize if you are in the right place with the right people in the right environment in this choreography, then you're able to open up and accept or receive that frequency. It's in alignment, which then we are able to bring forth into manifestation, trusting and loving what we are choreographing with the knowing that we are in the realm of where we do heartfelt belong and we are in receivership. We're receiving. But Gotcha is part of the fairy challengers, the fae that really bring our inner traumas, fears, insecurities, denials, delusions, etc. Bring us face to face with all of those, which is great. So these are more like initiations. Some are minor, some are major. And in the indigenous cultures, people actually go through initiations, all kinds. I won't get into that. But again, the initiation. So Gotcha is the sudden shock. He's the unexpected events. He's the rude awakenings, which is also part of the 4. He's the out of the blue fairy who likes to surprise us. You know, when you're walking along, literally minding your own business or not minding any business at all, you're just in your field, and the universe smacks us right on our blind side. For me, that would be my right side, with something that makes an awful splat. These unexpected demands from all the things outside of us could be the tax man, for example, could be getting a flat tire, all the things. Gotcha knows more than he shares. And most of us don't function at this level, this exalted, intuitive level of consciousness most of the time. The frequencies are a little too frequented, I guess. They're a little, I call them shock absorbing. I don't know. There are too many particles and atoms. But we do get hints, subtle flashes of insights, intuition, psychic abilities when we know we shouldn't have gone one way or we went that way or trusted a person, invested in that stock or whatever it may be. So there are 2 things that Gotcha kind of teaches us. First, number 1, that we need to learn to listen to our intuition, our inner guidance system, spirit. We need to be awake and aware. That's just the first part of what we need to learn in order to fulfill our potential, our gift and our purpose, to have a happy, satisfying, fulfilled journey on the earth plane, whatever that looks like. Without it, we're kind of sleepwalking into and through the world. missing the wonders, childlike wonders, the joys, the mystical, the magical, and all the greatness, right? While not missing those energetic hiccups, the bumps, the trivial pursuits, the pitfalls, the bumps in the road, the big hole. Second, actually, when there are lessons that we need to learn, or when there are experiences that are other people's, but they do have an impact on who we are and what we're going through, we need to learn to roll with those punches, to really take what comes in, learn from it what we can, and then regain our balance, our frequency, as quickly as possible. And then just know that things happen. We can't always control them, right? That's being in the flow. We can't always get out of their way. So there's two sides of this energetic coin. It's the unexpected lottery winner on one side, and it's the unexpected transition of a loved one. So it really is kind of the feelings of the topsy-turvettes. That's what I kind of see. But Gotcha knows that we often build sturdy, rigid structures in our minds and also in our lives. So allow those thoughts to percolate and float on by like the clouds. But he also knows that these often are not actually good for us. Absolutely, right? Sometimes, often, we complain about them. We might mutter things about life being dull or even that it's boring. However, we often cling to them tenaciously because they're so fucking familiar, excuse me. But this inner and outer rigidity usually encourages stagnation, and the oneness unity, the oneness field, is really insisting on creativity, ideas, growth, learning, lessons, exploring, bursting, budding. We're in the nature season. So, to help us along our way, Gotcha, who's got like his one eye of nectar because he's hungover, he's kindly delivering those sudden surprises for us. However, how often do we remember to actually be grateful, thankful, and just saying thank you for these messages, placing them on the altar and the other world? Things happen for us, not to us. And just being grateful for the insights of the bulldozer that we didn't see coming because we weren't aware. So this really is a message speaking to us of sudden, often, possibly could be violent, by the way, hiccups in the road, breakdowns of existing structures, habits, patterns, those puzzle pieces, and even our attitudes, I would say, having an attitude of gratitude. So when we become so tightly bound or confined in by our own self-imposed limitations, those thoughts, including the desires for comfort and security, just knowing we're safe, Gotcha kindly breaks down the structure that's restraining us to get us to the other side. We usually don't like this, by the way. Whether we think we want him to or not, that's what he does. On a soul level, we know this to be a necessity. It's necessary. But in our everyday thoughts and thinking, we usually get pretty upset about all of this choreography, but it's the breakdowns that really lead us to the breakthrough. It's the liberation. This is liberation. It's liberating. And we often don't have a clue what to do with it at that moment, but this is usually, it brings in kind of a period of confusion. Because we're not aware, even being disorientated or disappointed while we search for a way to move forward. So even though we often may think we're simply kind of searching for a way back to what we had before, reminds me of life pre-experience, I'd recommend that we do not try to pick up those pieces or even try to put them back to the way they were. They happen for a reason. So just consider instead what you would like to build in that aspect, that part of your life. And this is a spiritual acumen. It's spiritual values, being valued spiritually and knowing spirit values us. And it's a time to remember also to leave room for growth. Be compassionate inside of yourself. In the words that we use within, that inside voice sometimes can be a corrupter, quite frankly. So it's time to really affirm that I am observing inspirited thoughts. If it's in alignment with your soul, that's kind of the thoughts that you want to go with. So with that was kind of a lot. Take Gotcha out into the weekend. And if your soul does feel called, join the Shamanic Healing Academy. It's open. The Sha, that's where the Sha came in. The medium part, Shamanic Healing Academy. Kind of funny how the universe works. This is for mystics, mages, intuitives, witches, etc., otherworldlies. If you're ready to dive into the cosmic, the rituals, the origins, and really so much more. I'm bringing in other amazing people. But do make it a fantastic weekend. Just remember that there's going to be a breakdown to get us to the breakthrough. Magic is always on the other side of releasing, or I should say, liberating what is no longer serving us. So we can start with a new, fresh platter, a spiritual, intuitive one. Make sense? All that. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, I'll see you on Monday. Actually, possibly Sunday. I don't know what I have going on. Ashe, blessings.
Whatever term resonates with you is Hades. And I got to tell you, the first time Hades came to me and I heard that name, I panicked. I immediately shut down the meditation because I was a newbie, shut down the meditation, everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this evil? Is this bad? Is this all these things? And I'm like, no, no, no. And as I started going down on my journey, and he was with me for the whole first year, it's exactly that. You have to descend. You have to go into your darkness, into your shadow, and really understand who you are before you can start ascending, before you can start doing all of those light things. And it was a beautiful journey. And again, part of a key of what I do is you have to go to the death. You have to go to those dark moments. A cycle is coming to an end. You have to grieve. You have to mourn. You can't just hop into the rebirth and not mourn and let go of all of the cords and everything.